always, I am honored to introduce our special guest. He is an artist, originally from Mobile, Alabama. Now he resides in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Due to his difficult childhood, he was able to escape the stress and turmoil through drawing. He has been featured in many festivals, local news, and art galleries around the country. Help me welcome our talented guest, Lamont Coleman. How are you doing?
Fine.
You doing fine? You gotta be a little bit more excited than that. You're doing great. Huh?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
Well, great. That is awesome. That's good to hear. So Lamont, I want to say thank you for being a part of Exposure Spotlight Magazine talk show. We greatly appreciate you accepting the invitation to be a part of our program. And it gives me honor, like I said, to be able to interview you because you are so talented. And with that being said, I want you to share with everyone, how did you come about becoming or being an artist?
Well, it all started when I was a little child, going through different things, different turmoils, just going through different stress and pain as a kid. And, I just started one day, just started drawing, didn't know actually what I was doing, but I found out that it was giving me peace. And so by me being, at the time was child abuse, that was my escape. And so I just started drawing and I guess that was a way of me getting closer to God without even actually knowing him. And it just brought so much peace, and that's why I started doing it.
Okay. So you mentioned that you were abused, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Love my mom dearly, but this is my testimony. She's no longer here on this earth. And me and my mom ended up getting a good relationship. And so thank God for that. But as a child, I was child abuse. And just
was that by your mother?
Ma'am?
You was abused by your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And so that's how artwork became in my life, where it just gave me that peace and that rest. And, I just felt in love with it.
So with you being abused and what did you do? I mean, like I know you mentioned that you found peace or what have you through, drawing. And I mean, when did you really realize that you had the gift to draw? Because you're not just any type of typical artist.
Right.
You are, I mean, honestly, there is no word for your talent that you have, and we're going to be able to show people exactly what you're capable and what you do. It's just amazing how creative that you are. But through your abuse, when did you really find that, hey, I'm going to start drawing to give myself some type of sense of peace? When did you, I know it's through the abuse, but like when you went in your room or, how did it all come about, you even picking up a pen and a paper and say, let me start drawing? Because you had no type of training, correct?
Right. I had no type of training. When I found out that it was a gift, well, I never forget, it was in the 5th grade. And it was like all the kids was drawing and stuff like that. And so when people started seeing like I was different than the kids' drawings in school, my stuff was different than theirs. And so I started winning trophies from the 5th grade on up. And that's when I began to start saying, like, hey, this is not just me drawing. Like, I went through different things in my childhood, but at the same time, this stuff is not just happening for no reason. Like, this is actually like a gift from God. So that's when I began to just my mind just started changing from, oh, this is just drawing up some typical artwork. And so that was amazing.
So at what, I know fifth grade is what, that was the age of what, 10, 11?
Yeah, 10, 11.
Okay. And ever since, and how old are you now?
32.
You're 32. So you've been drawing ever since then.
Yeah, ever since then.
Wow. Amazing. So the piece of work of piece of art that you have behind you, you did that as well, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain that?
Well, this one is it's called Dressed by Nature. And basically, we all know that corn, you grow the corn and stuff like that. And it has like shells and stuff like that from the sea. And he has a blanket right here. And then he has the lip ring and stuff like that. And basically the reason why I draw this picture is because I love African art, period.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I love African art is because as an artist, looking at it from an artist's point of view, it's so creative. And that's why I decided to call this Dressed by Nature, because I consider Africans take anything and they dress it up and make it fit them into their happiness and their culture. And not just Africa, tribes in different places, like people, period. Especially when you don't have much in life, they take what's around them to, uplift them. So that's why I really have inspired to draw this picture.
Oh, wow. Now, let me ask you this. How long did it take you to draw that?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? How many hours a day?
Ooh, a lot.
Quite a bit?
Yeah, it was, let's say about maybe seven hours a day. Some I did slow, just relaxing and doing it, but some, just really pacing myself or speeding it up. But yeah, 2 weeks.
It's nice. It's more than nice. It's beautiful. I could have did that, in a year. So look, that is great. Wonderful. It is tremendously just beautiful. That's all I can say about your work. And I can't wait to show everyone what you did for Exposure Spotlight magazine as far as drawing the cover for its next upcoming issue. But before we show them that, I want to ask you a few questions in reference to your creativity. Would you say that art should be used to express beauty or your painful side of life?
I would say,
is that how you come about drawing certain things? I mean, do you look at it to express the beauty of it, or basically, would you say that you also do certain piece of work, in reference to the painful side of life, such as like when you were abused as a child? Do you find yourself, expressing yourself that way?
Well, how I look at it as an artist and just anything in life, it has to be true within inside of you, And what I mean about that is that I consider myself as a talented artist, but what's most valuable is what's inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even if I don't draw like the hurt and the pain of what I went through, people will still see the value or the detailism of what I have, what I put in a picture. So I would say it doesn't have to be what you actually go through, but it has to be in stage in life of what's inside of you, because that's what's make you a valuable artist within yourself. Not necessarily people, but what's in yourself.
Yeah.
And so what's in yourself I had to learn that in life, that I can't just draw everything that I see. I have to draw what's in me, because when people gonna know.
Mm-hmm.
People gonna be like, wow, like they're gonna start explaining your work. And I had that in life where people just start explaining different things, and it's like almost like they prophesying to me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I came back and told my wife, I was like, babe, like you would swear that somebody was next to me going through what I went through, but they wasn't. And they'll be like, well, man, you somewhere when you was drawing this piece, you was really thinking deep, honey. Like this area right here.
Mm-hmm.
And then this area on this side, if you freed up. And they'd be like, man, like, how you know that? And it'd be, so it's just whatever's inside of you, you know, come out. It has to come out, because it's really a story.
Wow. I tell you, this is so fantastic. It really is. I'm just so honored to be in your presence. You know that? Yeah, truly, you have a gift. This
Amen.
is wonderful. So, allow me to ask you this: what artistic tools do you value most in completing your projects?
I love charcoal.
Oh, really? So
Charcoal.
that's that. You use that on this particular drawing as well?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. This is fully charcoal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's one of your main things that you like using?
Yeah, I do paintings too. But the reason why I do charcoal is because I started off when I started back drawing. Some years ago, I started back drawing, and I was like, you see all these colorful pictures and stuff like that. And then one day God spoke to me and he said, you gotta draw, you gotta start off. No, he told me start off where you came from. Start off what you started with. And that was pencil. And I said, Lord, but that was pencil. And he said charcoal and pencil about what and what. And so basically he was telling me all this, and now I'm starting to understand what he was saying. And what he was saying is that you have to be, you can't, that's why I was saying, like, you can't just do something. It has to be a story. It has to be a statement. Mm-hmm. And so when you do that, you'll be different from others. That what makes you unique. And that's what I consider this. Like, I can do paintings, but deep inside of me is charcoal. And one thing is that you don't see a lot of people doing charcoal, like in this area around Baton Rouge. Mm-hmm. And so now I begin to see like why God was telling me that. And so, yeah, and this is just what I favor in.
Wow. Now, as someone who is as talented as you are and artistic, who is your greatest creative inspiration, or who would you like to compare yourself to?
My greatest inspiration is without, a lot of people might say God, but it is God. And my wife, many times, like, she has seen me with my head down. And it's many times where I wanted to quit art. Art, wasn't no money coming in, no nothing.
Wow.
And I guess it's just being, because a lot of people, they try to be like, oh man, like this is going good for me and such and such. But this is how you know when stuff is for you. When you're going through the maybe a financial battle, or people not liking your stuff as much or whatever. And so you just thinking out the blue, like somebody's just gonna just hocus pocus, like stuff is just gonna happen for you. But I had to learn that throughout everything that, hey, God got me. And God kept telling me to, keep moving, no matter how it looks, keep moving. And I listened to a lot of inspiration people. And one of them was Steve Harvey. And he was saying like how he slept in his car for I think 3 years. And so at the time when I heard that message, I was like, wow, like that gave me a boost. And I just began to just start just drawing at it, going at it, because I began to understand that, hey, I have a purpose in life.
Yeah.
And it's something that God wants to do in his purpose.
Amazing. So with that being said, Lamont, do you think that art should be used to influence political, religious, social, environmental views? And if so, why not? Or why?
Well, I do think that it should be used, and the reason why is because that's what keeps the world moving.
Yeah.
If everybody does the same thing, then it won't be, it wouldn't be a reason why to spend your dollar on something, So I do think that, let's go back to what I was saying earlier, is you have to draw within. You have to do whatever within inside of you. And for your statement, or for instance, we saying God, I can do a picture of Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And so that's a statement that that should be getting across, is that, hey, if I say that Jesus has, saved me from the hurt and the pain and stress that I was going through, well then, yeah, I would want to do something like that, because I want you to be free too. So yeah, I do think it's.
Yeah. It seems like it to me that you would use some of those different values, or, as a view of putting your talent together. You would use some of those different perspectives.
Right.
But look, like I said, I'm just so overwhelmed and elated to be in your presence and to have this opportunity to interview someone like yourself who is so talented. And I cannot express that enough. And probably the audience may get tired of me saying it, but Lamont, you are truly talented. Is there anything that you dislike about your work or the art world, period? Is there anything that you dislike about it?
I want to say like a dislike, because there's many times where it's times where I did dislike my own work. But now as me maturing, is that, and when I say dislike, not necessarily dislike, more like I can do better. I always look at myself as, I strive to be humble at all times, no matter how good I am. I strive to be humble, and so when I look at that as a dislike, like me as my form of dislike. I would say like, man, I could have brought this out more, or I could have, did that. So when I do another piece, I'll be like, man, I'm gonna do better. Or even on that same piece, I'll be like, hey, I can't give this out, because if I give it incomplete, then it means nothing to me. And I want it to mean everything. And then when I give it to the customer, I want the customer to be pleased. And I want the customer to, even though a customer might not even see it, the value, they might say, oh man, it's good. And I'll be like, nah, man, I could have did this spot better. So I want the customer to get the full value, even if they don't even see it.
Mm-hmm. So has there ever been a time where your customers dislike any of your work?
Oh yes.
Really?
Sure. Surely.
So how do you handle that, or how did you handle it?
How do I handle it is I never really had that like quite often, you know. Like I said, I started back drawing. When I started back drawing, I got rusty. I got rusty, and I was like, I told myself and I told my wife, like, hey, I'm not letting go of this at all. And I was going through different things at the time, but um, how I handled it, is that I said, hey, give it back to me. And I started working on it and started working on it. And I began to see what they see and just airing out my mind and being humble about the situation, because I know that if I do this, it's going to take me far in life. Mm. So it's like a business. Like, I know I had to handle it as business wise. If you order something from Chick-fil-A or any other restaurant, they're going to want to, and you call in, well, they're going to want to fix it because it's on the business now. So they want to keep the business name alive. And so that's what I was doing.
Okay. All right. Now, is there a dream project that we should know about that you're currently working on, or?
Well,
we know about Exposure Spotlight magazine. Like I said, we're going to show that to them in a minute.
All right.
Yes. But is there anything else that we should know about? Well,
I'm working on a trailer. It's going to be an art gallery. It's it's a 6x16 trailer, something like that. But yeah, I'm in it right now doing the interview, and so it's an upcoming event that's waiting to happen.
Oh wow. So allow me to ask you this. The portrait that you have behind you, so do you have portraits that you are currently selling or eventually going to sell, or what?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, this one behind me is going to be sold. And then I have upcoming pieces that I have sketched out that I'm going to sell. So yeah, I do sell artwork.
Well, that is great. So is there anything else that the audience should know about Lamont Coleman?
Oh, well, I'm very passionate about what I do, and I guess I just been speaking to the whole entire message that, you know, whatever you do in life, whatever, you know, your dream, your goal, and I guess it's more like not just me, but other people too, because, you know, I believe like when we speaking to somebody else too. And so I just really want to encourage people to don't go to sleep on your dream. I don't care who tell you no or who tell you yes. Like, even if somebody tell you yes, 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 like, go by your inside, go by what your heart, because a lot of people can tell you yes for the wrong reason. Yeah. But you have to do what's inside of you, because somebody is waiting on your dream. Your dream is not just for yourself. You know, even what I do, it's not just for myself. And I'm getting into me. I have a goal of helping out people and little kids that been through what I've been through, that been through child abuse, that been through abandoned home, that been through maybe didn't have a father, maybe didn't have a mother, maybe have nothing. And so that is my desire behind artwork, is to help a home, help one another, you know, regardless of what background that they're in. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's going on today, but regardless of what background that you have, like, it's not even about your background. It's about, hey, we all have the same blood, and all of our bloods are red, and that's all that matters. And so that is my desire, is to behind my art is to help out one another. You know, if somebody's on the side of the road, help them out, regardless of what we think that, you know, or they just fleecing people or whatever like that. That person might not be. That person might was yesterday, but hey, he might not be today. So it's just, you know, I believe whatever you went through in your childhood or whatever point in your life doesn't mean that it has to be a different result of it. You don't have to follow what you've been through. You can change that in somebody else. And so that's my desire of what I want to do behind my art.
That is awesome. It sounds like you can start an academy. I think that may be something you may want to put somewhere on the agenda. I think it would be a great thing. Yeah. Especially since you when you mentioned that you want to help others who've been through certain things such as yourself, especially at an early childhood. And, you know, and of course we know in this world that we live in that everyone is going through something emotionally.
Right. Yes.
And so a lot of times people could maybe find that hidden talent, and that could be, you know, art. So that is something that I feel deeply that perhaps you may want to look at somewhere in the very near future, because I really believe that you have what it takes to be that instructor to do that.
Right.
But you have given some great information, and your work it speaks for itself. Now, I want to talk briefly before we end the interview about the cover of Exposure Spotlight magazine. And I have to say, I have shown the cover to a few people, and they could not believe that you drew this. Right. They thought it was a picture. So what we did, we just found some pictures of, and let's just talk briefly about what's going on in the country, in the world today with police brutality, Black Lives Matter, right. Social injustice, social justice, all of that. And so we have George Floyd on the cover, as well as Rodney King and Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and Trayvon Martin, as well as Alton Sterling. So you took individual pictures that we were able to locate, and you actually made it your own. You created this by collaborating and putting it all together. Tell me what was going through your mind when you were drawing this?
Man, actually, when I was doing it, after we was talking, I was doing it. It was actually an emotional moment, really, because I couldn't just keep myself. Like, I couldn't just draw it, you know. It's motion with tears came down my eyes, down my face, and, you know, because I'm like, how George Floyd died was just, you couldn't tell me that that's just, whatever excuse that they made. You can't just tell me that. Like, that has to be a deep hatred within an individual. That has to be, you know, something that's just deeply in you, you know, and that didn't come overnight. And so that's why it was just so emotional, like drawing each one of them. And, you know, but I know that I have to get across with it, because even though other people is doing it, me as an artist is not just making a statement, but knowing that, hey, I have to, it's like a bridge that you have to get across. And so I know I had to get across to relay the message, enjoying even other people.
Yes, it's so amazing. And I'm so excited to show this to everyone. So we're going to do that at the end of this interview. So we want you all to stay tuned so you can see this masterpiece, this Exposure Spotlight magazine cover that Lamont Coleman drew. And we also going to show a video as well of him actually drawing this so that you all can see that he actually did this. And then also too, we want to, if you don't mind, Lamont, if there's anyone out there that would like to have some artwork done, how can they reach you?
They can reach me at Coleman's Craft. It's on Facebook. And then they can reach me at Lamont Coleman 388 on Instagram.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds great. Again, Lamont, I greatly appreciate having this opportunity to interview you because you are so deserving and well deserving of this. More people need to know and see the talent and the gift that God has truly given you, because I can say everybody cannot do what you're doing. And definitely you have a masterpiece that's behind you, and you have many more masterpieces. So again, give everyone your Instagram page so that they can be able to go to that and view some of your work, as well as whatever information that you have where they can reach out to you and see your work.
It's Coleman's Craft with a K. Sorry about that. So the craft is with K.
Okay.
And that's Facebook. Or you can just reach me at Lamont Coleman on Facebook too.
All right. And also too, you all can reach out to me if you want to reach Lamont. Okay?
Right.
Because I'm thinking about being his manager.
Hey.
Truly, he has great talent, everyone. But truly, I can say too, God has his hands on him because he is so talented. But again, Lamont, thank you so much for being a part of the Exposure Spotlight magazine talk show, because you want to know something? Your voice, it matters. Okay?
Right.
Thank you so much, and may God bless you.
You too.
Thank you.
But it is in times like
Service provides you with professional service to weddings, parties, anniversaries, whatever your needs may be. Call Berry Limousine Service at 504-343-9268.
Exposure Spotlight Magazine, bringing you the best in news, entertainment, music, beauty, fashion, celebrity interviews, political issues, spotlighting local and national businesses, health and fitness, inspirational morals and values. If you would like to be featured and have a story to share, give us a call at 225-394-7200 or email us at exposurespotlightmagazine@gmail.com. Again, you can reach us at 225-394-7200, where your voice matters. Exposure Spotlight Magazine.